Welcome, everyone. Greetings, and thank you all for coming to the meeting. The topic for today, for the summit, is women, business, and sustainability. Now, these are three important words, but I'm going to give you two more. The first word is called higher purpose. I want you to think about it for the next 2 days. What is your higher purpose? And the second word is humanity. There is nothing that will happen to you alone. Whatever you do will be a part of humanity. Humanity are the humans who live on Mother Planet Earth. It's very simple. You don't need too many definitions and too many words and get wordy about these things. Humanity are all the people who live in this world, and we don't divide them in borders, and we don't divide them according to nationalities or cultures or geographies or genders. We just simply call them humans. So these are the two words that I would like you to keep throughout the 2 days that you're here. Now, when I founded the Will Forum 12 years ago in 2007, everybody kept asking me, what are you doing? Because I'm an economist, I'm a global consultant. And they're saying, what has this got to do with business? And I said to them that if you do not include half of your population in whatever you do as a critical resource, nothing to do with moral issues, nothing to do with morality, if you do not include this, your business is going to fail. It's really as simple as that. Nobody has to tell it to me. Nobody has to draw the equation. I know it. So women are the least used resource in the world. And it's just called plain bad economics. It's as simple as that. There's no morality in what I'm trying to do. Now, the thing is that when I started the Forum for Women in Leadership, however, I never lost the word higher purpose. And so I'm going to read to you the few lines that I put in my book because I often forget what I'm saying. So I have to sit down and I have to write it so that I can open my book and I can read it. What I was writing then, and I want to say to you today, is that the things that will destroy us are politics without principle, pleasure without conscience, wealth without work, knowledge without character, business without morality, science without humanity, and worship without sacrifice. If we can only get this right, we will know the meaning of sustainability. These are not words. These are very critical elements of sustainability. So I wrote it down in my book so that I always remember, why did I start the Will Forum? And it has nothing to do with women. It has to do with the fact that we need to make a sustainable future. But somehow the women are lost in this dialogue. It's as if we have nothing to do in the business of business. So we need to get the dialogue back to where it belongs. And the entry-level dialogue has got to stop. The entry-level dialogue is where you talk about mentoring, coaching, maternity, family life. It's over. It's over. Let us escalate the dialogue. Let us move it up. It's time to escalate the dialogue. The dialogue needs to be escalated where? It needs to be escalated to governance, good governance, sustainability, humanity, well-being. These are the kind of words we need to talk about now when we talk about women. But the single most important thing in all of this is called equal opportunity. I have no idea why people want to use more words. Diversity, inclusion. What is the meaning of diversity and inclusion? Is that it can be dissected into many words. But equal opportunity is clear. You cannot dissect it. You can't. So as an economist, I like simple, clear words. And if for 100 years we have used the word equal opportunity, I don't want to change it. It's too much work for me. Somebody will say diversity of age, diversity of gender. Hit stop. Try equal. And instead of inclusion, try opportunity. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple, because then our task to resolve it will be simple. The more complicated you make it, the more difficult will be your task in resolving it. So equal opportunity stands right on top when we talk about governance and sustainability. And equal opportunity is not difficult to define. I would like a level playing field. I want access for everybody. We want zero bias. And we want zero discrimination. We don't care what you call it. Call it conscious, call it unconscious. These are all words. Can we say zero and get on with it? How does it matter where it came from? It makes absolutely no difference where it came from. It's called zero. We are not going to tolerate even 0.01%. Let's keep it simple. We don't care the genesis. Where did it come from? We don't want to know. It's called zero. Maybe I'm so much into zero because we believe that Indians gave the word zero to the rest of the world. They had only 1 to 10 until we invented zero. And zero in Shunya, the word is actually infinity. It wasn't zero. We gave the word infinity. And that's how mathematics progressed on from 10 to 11 onwards. Otherwise, they didn't know how to do zero. In fact, that was in 3rd century AD. So let us be clear what is equal opportunity. Let us not use too many words. Now I would like equal opportunity for all talents to shine. I'm so clear when I speak. I don't need to move around too much. I want equal opportunity for all talents to shine because it's business, right? We're not here to do some NGO work. Now, if somebody tells me that they have equal opportunity and they have meritocracy, but the numbers of women is still 3%, 4% on top in boards, and still 10% in CXOs, then what's the problem? If you have meritocracy, and if it's not showing, what does your logic say? That the ecosystem is unequal. Or you say that the women are no good. Now you choose. I will go with the former rather than with the latter. So, we have to look for deep-rooted discrimination of women in the workforce. We have to find it, and then we have to validate it. So the next word I'm giving you is called validation. You don't talk about it. You validate equal opportunity. And anybody who tells me that there is no way to do it, you can pay me a lot of money and I'll come and do it for you. It's not a problem. You will pay a lot of money to do many things, but you won't pay money to validate equal opportunity in your company. And it can be done. And it's the annexure of my book. It's not like I'm going to do something that I haven't told you. I'm telling you, it's the annexure of my book, but you won't know how to do it. You won't know how to do it because you don't have 12 years of experience, 6,000 women and men, 250 companies. I've written 15 research reports. I've written a book. I know it. I therefore will be able to probably do it better than you. Doesn't mean that you can't do it, but you'll have to first get all that accomplishment on the ground before you get a very important thing, which is called insight. You need insights to do these things. It's not just about technical work. So the biases against the women have got to go, and we must validate it, and we call it benchmarking, equal opportunity in the ecosystem. Now, that doesn't mean that these inequalities don't exist and we are going to be in denial of them. It simply means that we're going to transcend them. I didn't use the word, we're going to cross them. I used the word transcend. Transcend is a very profound word. It means you can park it aside and you can still involve it, but you transcend it. You don't ignore it, you're just transcending it. So let us transcend all these biases. Let us validate equal opportunity. And let us go and build for sustainability what I call new age companies. Flat structures. We don't want any pyramids. We want flat workplaces. We want new ideas. We want new innovation. We want new age companies. We want sustainable companies. I'm going to make a PowerPoint for a few moments, 5 minutes. Emma, would you like to help me? Thank you. Just to give you a visual. Also, the title of my book is called Leadership by Proxy, because there is no book written by women on leadership. They will write just about every title under the sun, but you'll find it very hard to find a book on leadership that is written by women. So when I wrote the book, I decided 2 years ago that I'm going to call it Leadership by Proxy. Proxy because half the population is proxying for the other half. They know what is leadership, we don't. Okay, no problem. Now we'll write a book on it. And I wanted to go into the library in a place called leadership. It shouldn't go into a place called women, so that everybody gets to read it. It's very important. The other thing is that the last chapter of my book is called Who Will Mentor the Men? And it's a very important question to ask. And you know, the entire chapter deals with why and what is it that we need to mentor them about. And you know, unless you put things in writing, unless you put them clearly, you can't take too much action on it. First, you have to have a very important word, which is called accountable. You have to be accountable for what you're saying. And the best way to be accountable is to sit down and write it and then sign off on it publicly, that this is what I think. So is Emma having difficulty here? I'll wait so that I don't take your mind somewhere else. I can just, it's very easy for me to take your mind where it should not go. While we are here, I will recognize some of the people in the room. One of our, now I call them Will Mentees. We have 850 Will Mentees. And over the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, we had 10 more. And they're from the Netherlands. And one of them is Joanna. Very nice to see you. She's also waving her hand, Unzala. It is my job to get to know everybody's name, or else I will be a failure in what I do. I got to know the names of every one of my mentees. So, you know, it's a tough job for me to do. Is anyone, Melissa is also our mentee. Is any other from our batch of 10? Okay, good. Are you back? Nikki. You see how it goes? If you make leaders, you better be a leader yourself. You better know the name Orsi, one more. Yeah. You better know the name of everybody who was there, you know, in the meeting. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to make leaders if you don't know their names. So I really want to recognize them. I think they did an outstanding job. And most of them, when they went on LinkedIn, they were saying they have a shift in their minds. And you must demonstrate. So do you want to do this, or shall we let it go in the interest of time? It's a very tough job to create leaders in 5 days, and it's very tough to do it in 2 days, but it can be done. There is no such thing as impossible in our dictionary. Everything can be done, because what a leader needs is a mind shift, and it's very possible to see it in the next day. Either you succeeded or you didn't. It's very simple. Was that you, Emma? Okay, good, thank you. Shall we give her a hand? She did an outstanding job. Well done, well done. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to be very quick so as not to take up somebody else's time with due respect. Women, business, and sustainability. So the Will Forum is very important for me as the founder to at least tell you that in 2007, 12 years ago, I was using words, founding words as equal opportunity, inclusive growth, best practices, which are being used today. I'm not saying I invented inclusive growth, but I was talking about it in 2007. That's why I need to escalate the dialogue. Can't wait for those who are still talking about it. We are a global influencer on women, the Will Forum. We have meetings in Mumbai, New York, Paris, Austria, Netherlands, Zurich, Washington, D.C. Now the keynote today, I gave you the word higher purpose, all right? And I have given this to you already on what is the higher purpose. Please try and remember those lines. And also I've said that Mahatma Gandhi said them, I didn't, so that you know that it wasn't me. I would like to take credit for it. It's quite brilliant. So the leadership lessons of CEOs who have a higher purpose, what are those CEOs like? What do they do? I'm trying to tell you so that you embed them into the CEOs, not in yourself. We already have it, I hope. Those CEOs listen to their inner voices, all right? They touch people. How many lives have you touched? Do you have an attitude for gratitude? Most CEOs with a higher purpose will be like a human soul on fire. They are passionate. They are unstoppable. So in that leadership session we were doing when they asked me, what is your leadership style? I said, I'm simply irresistible. What I meant was, you can't stop me. That's the way it goes. They have a spirit of stewardship. So I didn't say captain, I said stewardship. There's an important word here. They conquer all their fears. The choices that you make will be what you are. You never know when you're on the tipping point. And as far as I'm concerned, you're always on the tipping point. All right, just tip it. So Womenomics is very important because we're talking about women, business, and sustainability. This is your business agenda. I don't expect you to understand this right now, but this is an econometric model. And that's how we escalate the dialogue. We say, we finished with women, moral duty. Okay, fine. Now get down to business, all right? Defining the dialogue, escalating it. What do we escalate it to? We talk about balanced leadership. We talk about women as customers, suppliers. We talk about enterprise risk management. We talk about women on boards. We talk about diverse style of leadership, not diversity, diverse style of leadership. Then we create equal ecosystems. And I'm very clear about it, that in order to create them, we have to validate them. The Will Forum has a benchmarking practice. We must have done about 50 companies, multinationals, Sodexo, Capgemini, Microsoft, Amazon. We validated their ecosystems. That doesn't mean that they're right or they're wrong. It just simply means this is where you are. Now you figure out where you want to go. We don't tell them where you want to go. That's not my job. That's the CEO's job. That's the board's job. Okay. Must escalate the dialogue. Let's get the men into the mission. These are some of our most excellent founding members. Sodexo, Aditya Birla Group, L&T, chairman. It's extremely important for the men to be part of the dialogue. They've always been part of the dialogue. The founding members of the Will Forum are all men. That's the way it goes. All my founding members are men. I just simply went to them and I said 12 years ago, I'm going to start a forum for women in leadership. And it has nothing to do with women. It's about leadership. That's why they were all on my side. They got it. Okay, we must create sustainable women communities. This is really important. I think many of our speakers have already spoken about it. Women must learn how to think, strategize, articulate, question, debate, reflect, engage. These are not words. Please try to remember these words. Don't come to meetings to bond. You can add bond below this or on top of this, but you got to do the rest of it. Bonding is only one part of it. Bonding, sharing, one part. Strategize, articulate, debate, very important. Must mentor the women for the gender context of leadership. That's the key word here, right? I'm talking about building sustainable futures. If you don't have a gender context of leadership training for women, you're basically missing the point. These are some of the companies we have benchmarked. Research and knowledge is very important. That's why I keep writing all the time. My next research report is going to be building gender-sensitive leadership, because we've already done 3. I like to write about something that nobody else has written. It's very, you got to create a landmark. So that will be on mentoring male managers. And please remember the power of self. Do not forget the body, the mind, and the spirit. 10 push-ups, go. If you can't do anything else, do 10 push-ups. It's very important. That's me in the picture. We're not putting models anywhere. We first put ourselves. We say, okay, first me, then you. What I'm trying to say is that you've got to stay fit. The body and the mind has to align with the spirit. Otherwise, you will never get the power of self. Never. Just not going to happen. All 3 there are 3 parts of the stool. They must go together. So this is for building sustainable futures. We got to keep ourselves, men, women, totally aligned. And that's the Forum for Women in Leadership. Women must see themselves as leaders, and we must embed the leadership style in the workplace to build sustainable futures. Thank you all.